let's finish up the Civil War this week. So, we know the end of the Civil War was the surrender at Appomattox Courthouse. This is where Robert E. Lee of the Confederate Army in Virginia officially surrenders to Ulysses S. Grant, um, the main general for the Union Army. But technically, this didn't officially end the war. Um, it ended like this part of the war, but it wasn't an official, we're good now, we're done. Um, After this surrender, there were still six smaller battles fought throughout the United States. Um, but pretty much it was over. The reason those battles were fought is because the news hadn't really spread. Um, we didn't have, they couldn't like call each other, or there weren't phones yet. They just had to write letters. And so it takes a long time for a letter to get from Virginia to Georgia, Texas, those really far away ones. So um, that's kind of sad to think about, as those people were still fighting a war that wasn't actually going on anymore. But let's look through some of these pictures. So this is Grant, Ulysses S. Grant, Northern general, eventually becomes president of the United States. Robert E. Lee, Confederate general. Remember, Lincoln came to him and was like, "Hey, please come fight for the North," and he was like, "Nope, I'm staying with my home state of Virginia. I'm going to stay with the Confederacy." So this is Petersburg Falls. Um, when the signing happened at Appomattox Courthouse, there was a smaller battle right before that at Petersburg Falls. Petersburg Falls is just uptown, really close by. So this is just a picture of some of the soldiers. Um, Historians took these pictures, they're all the pictures you're going to see, and they preserved them on these like glass tablets and printed them out so we could have them. That's why we still have them today. Okay, so you can see like this guy's smiling, this guy's smiling. They're all kind of blurry. Wow. They're all kind of blurry because the cameras back then didn't have like the instantly take a picture, you know. Um, you know how when you take like live pictures on an iPhone or like portrait mode, it like takes a few seconds for the picture to be taken, and if you move your camera too fast, it's all blurry. It's kind of the same thing here, but like the people are moving. Um, Even just you know you standing there and breathing, you move a little bit. That is enough to like make the pictures blurry. But you can still see he's happy. He's happy. He doesn't know what's going on. These guys aren't paying attention. So this is Appomattox. It's the house, the place where it was at. The photographers were trying to get there in time to take a picture of Lee's surrender, but they didn't make it in time. So they just got pictures of the outside and all these soldiers out here. So this is Wilmer McLean. This poor guy. He's just a civilian, just a guy, not fighting. He lived in Manassas when the war began. Remember the first Battle of Manassas, when all those people came out to watch, and they brought picnics and stuff. Well, he was there because he lived there. And after that happened, he was like, you know what? I need to get away from this war. So he moved to Appomattox, and the official signing took place in his house. So, poor guy. Things just not working out for him. Robert E. Lee, standing in front of his house. Like I said, his house is in Arlington Cemetery, Virginia. You can go see it if you're ever in DC. Which is kind of funny because he's a major Union general whose house is memorialized in the United States' greatest military cemetery. But it just kind of makes sense because he was a really great military leader. Um, Part of the reason why the South had so many amazing military leaders was because they fought in the Mexican American War, which I know we skipped just for the purposes of time, but they had so much practice and were trained and ready to go. And then just like 10 years later, the Civil War started. So they were still fresh out of war in the North. Didn't really have any soldiers there. So I don't know if you can see it, but it says devil. This is graffiti that somebody wrote on Robert E. Lee's house. So these are Union officials. I don't know if you can see Grant is right here. Um, Johnson, President Johnson, the one after Lincoln. I think he's right here. I don't know. He's up here too. But there was a bunch of Union officials here. You can't really tell; they're all blurry. But this is part of the ending celebration. Oh, okay. So there were a lot of pictures I wanted to put in here, but I didn't think they were a little scary. So in the next couple weeks, we're going to talk about the Emancipation Proclamation and freeing the slaves and Lincoln's death. So this is the burial site of some of Lincoln's conspirators. So we know that John Wilkes Booth is the one that killed Lincoln, but he had help planning everything. And so Booth, after he shoots Lincoln, he jumps off of the balcony where they were at Fort Cedar, hits the stage, breaks his leg, yells, "Lincoln is a tyrant," runs out the back door, steals a horse, is trying to run away. He's got a broken leg. There's people everywhere trying to find him. He just killed the president. Um, Eventually, he is caught and killed for killing the president. But some of his like helpers were caught too, and they were hung for their crimes. So those pictures were of them like preparing that. So I didn't want to show that, but these are their graves. As you can see, they're like pre-made. All the guys are like over off screen over here, shovels ready to go when they are. Okay, and that's all I have for you. You have a quiz this week, and I think that's it. Yeah, I think that's it. So next week we're gonna move into emancipation, 13th Amendment, ending slavery, that kind of thing. Um, I wanted to throw something else at you. So since we're all home, and I'm sure a lot of you have Netflix, Hulu, Amazon, whatever, there's some really, really great Civil War movies out there. I just watched one about Harriet Tubman the other day. Some really good ones. Check those out. Let me know how you like them. Maybe I can make that into a project or something. I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, do your quiz. Let me know if you have any questions and have a great